Most people aren't broke because they're lazy. They're broke because they were trained to be consumers, not producers. From childhood, we're taught to obey, memorize, and perform. We're told to get good grades, get a job, and climb the corporate ladder. But no one teaches us how money actually works. No one teaches us how to create value, solve problems, or build wealth. So, here's the uncomfortable truth. If you want to earn money, solve problems. If you want to earn more money, solve bigger problems. And right now, in this inflation era, the biggest problem people face is money itself. Let's talk about the trap. In 2025, inflation is still eating away at your income. Groceries that averaged about $200 a week last year now cost closer to $260. Rent is up, fuel is up, electricity bills are unpredictable, but your salary? Probably stuck in the same range. According to recent global data, over 70% of people live paycheck to paycheck. And it's not just minimum wage workers, even engineers, teachers, and office professionals are struggling. Why? Because the system was never designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to keep you working, just enough to survive, not enough to escape. You trade your time for money, then you spend that money on things that make other people rich. Subscriptions, gadgets, fast food, entertainment. You're stuck in what DeMarco calls the slow lane, a path where you work for 40 years, save a little, and hope inflation doesn't destroy your retirement. But here's the trap. The slow lane doesn't work anymore. Inflation eats your savings. Jobs aren't secure. AI and automation are replacing roles faster than ever, and the cost of living keeps rising. You're not failing because you're not working hard. You're failing because you're solving low-value problems. Or worse, none at all. So how do you escape? You flip the script. Instead of asking, how can I make more money? Start asking, what problems can I solve that people will pay for? This is the mindset of every wealthy person. Jeff Bezos didn't chase money. He solved the problem of fast, reliable delivery. Amazon started with books, but the real genius was logistics. Elon Musk didn't chase money. He solved problems in energy, transport, and space. Tesla wasn't just a car company. It was a bet on the future of clean energy. Wall Street Trapper didn't chase money. He solved the problem of financial literacy for people who were never taught how to build wealth. He turned prison time into a platform for education and empowerment. They didn't just work harder, they worked smarter by solving bigger problems. And here's the key. You don't need to be a billionaire to apply this mindset. You just need to stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like a problem solver. Because money doesn't come from effort alone, it comes from value. And value comes from solving problems that matter. So let's talk about what actually works. If you want to escape the cycle of being broke, you need to stop trading time for money and start trading solutions for income. That means identifying problems people are already desperate to solve and positioning yourself as the person who can solve them. Think about it. Every successful entrepreneur, freelancer, or investor is just solving a problem. A web developer solves the problem of online presence. A copywriter solves the problem of selling products. A real estate investor solves the problem of housing and investment returns. The bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. But here's the twist. Most people don't even know what problems they're capable of solving. They've been so conditioned to follow instructions that they've never asked, what do I know? What do I care about? And what do people need? Start there. Look around your own life. What frustrates you? What do people constantly complain about? What do businesses struggle with? These are clues. Because if something is a problem for you, chances are it's a problem for thousands of others too. Let's take a real-world example. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, didn't just write a book. He solved the problem of financial ignorance. He gave people a new lens to understand assets, liabilities, and cash flow. That book didn't just sell. It built a brand, a movement, and a business empire. Or take DeMarco, who wrote The Millionaire Fastlane. He didn't tell people to save pennies and wait 40 years. He exposed the broken system and gave readers a roadmap to build scalable, high-value businesses. He solved the problem of slow, outdated financial advice. Even someone like Alex Hormozi, he didn't start rich. He solved the problem of gym owners struggling to get clients. Then he scaled that solution into a multi-million-dollar business. Today, he teaches others how to do the same. These people didn't escape the trap by luck. They escaped by solving problems that mattered and by building systems that didn't rely on trading hours for income. And that's the next shift you need to make. Stop thinking in terms of effort. Start thinking in terms of leverage. Leverage means using tools, systems, and skills to multiply your impact. It's the difference between working 10 hours to earn $100 and building something once that earns $100 every day without your constant input. This is where digital products, online businesses, content creation, and investing come in. These are modern tools of leverage. They allow you to solve problems at scale, not just one-on-one, but one-to-many. But don't get it twisted. This isn't about chasing trends or copying influencers. It's about understanding the core principle. Money flows to value, and value comes from solving problems people care about. So, ask yourself, what do people around me complain about? What do they wish was easier, faster, cheaper, or better? What skills do I have or could learn that would help solve those problems? Because once you start thinking like a problem solver, everything changes. You stop chasing money, you start attracting it, and that's how you begin to escape the trap. Now let's bring this home. If you're watching this and thinking, but I don't have any special skills, I'm just trying to survive, you're not alone. That's exactly how most people feel, and that's exactly why this message matters. Because escaping the trap isn't about being born rich or having elite connections. It's about waking up to the truth that your current situation isn't permanent, and your value isn't defined by your job title. Most people are stuck not because they're incapable, but because they've never been shown a different way. They've been taught to chase jobs, not solve problems, to follow rules, not question systems, to survive, not thrive. But here's the shift. Once you start thinking like a producer, someone who creates value, everything changes. You stop asking, how can I earn more? And start asking, how can I help more? Because money is just a reflection of the problems you solve and the number of people you help. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who spent years in prison, no degree, no business background, no financial education, but while behind bars, he started reading about stocks, ownership, wealth. He realized that the world had taught him how to survive, but never how to build. That man is now known as Wall Street Trapper. He teaches thousands of people how to invest, how to think like owners, and how to escape the financial trap that once held him down. His story isn't just inspiring, it's proof that transformation is possible when you change your mindset and start solving problems that matter. And maybe your story won't look like his. Maybe you won't build $1 million business or teach finance to thousands, but maybe you'll learn a skill that helps a local business grow. Maybe you'll start a side hustle that pays your rent. Maybe you'll create something that gives you freedom, not just financially, but mentally, because that's what this is really about. Money isn't just about buying things. It's about buying time, buying freedom, buying the ability to say no to things that drain you, and yes to things that fulfill you. And here's the truth most people never hear. You don't need permission to start. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to begin with what you know, what you care about, and what people need. Start small. Solve one problem. Help one person. Build one thing. Then repeat. That's how you escape the trap. Not by waiting for the economy to change, not by hoping for a raise, but by becoming the kind of person who creates value consistently, intentionally, and with purpose. The trap is real. It's designed to keep you distracted, exhausted, and dependent. But once you understand how money flows, once you see that it's tied to value, not effort, you start to move differently. You stop chasing jobs and start building solutions. You stop asking for permission and start creating opportunities. You stop surviving and start designing a life that works for you. And that's the moment everything changes. Not when you hit a certain income level, not when you buy a car or a house, but when you realize that you're no longer waiting for someone to save you. You're solving problems. You're creating value. You're building freedom. And that's how you escape the trap for good.